Aloha Honolulu, Data here with episode 9 of the Honolulu Huskies Custom Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode, coming into the 2022 off-season, beginning with the draft and moving into the free agency and any other off-season moves that we are going to make before we head into our 4th season. In the last episode, we came off a 7-game grind in the first round where we lost to the Vegas Golden Knights. They ended up going to the Stanley Cup Finals where they lost to the Blue Jackets in 5 games, a very good team with Ovechkin and Tavares. It seems like the trend across the NHL is that have a monstrous first line. It was Vegas, Huberdeau, Sagan, and Kessel versus Columbus. Ovechkin, Tavares, and someone else. But anyways, they don't even need anybody else. Ovechkin and Tavares were just enough to get it done themselves. Anyways, quickly getting into the comments from last episode, I asked for your suggestions on what we should do in this off-season. Jirka Halby says Verana out, Grubauer out, Murray out, and also maybe even Bracco out. I think I agree with all of those. Try to look at the block during the draft. I'm not sure if the block is even visible during the draft, but I will. Maybe the hockey analyzers, whatever, the analysts in the middle will tell me something. To the playoffs, well, one line has done it. Now, what are you going to do? That could be better to just simulate if you want to spare some nerves when it comes to the gameplay, which is awful. Definitely, I agree with that. I do go into the gameplay, as hard as it is to watch, just to try and create a little story to see who plays well and try to get a little more interesting than just the simulating. It does hurt my heart to have to watch that gameplay sometimes, but it does add to the story. GRB Gaming says Genze sounds like a future GOAT. That's a player who we may be drafting. May very likely be drafting, actually, when we look at our position, which is 23rd, and who is available around that point. Sebastian Genze might be the guy that we're going to be going after. And then Chris Chong comments, look at the franchise free agents, wait to trade Murray, and etc. So if any created players become RFAs, you can have trade assets to trade for them, and, well, their rights, pretty much. Then if they can't get signed, they might already be on the block during the draft, so check for that. So that's definitely what I'm going to be doing heading into this draft. There are some interesting people that I'm looking at. I have a couple good second-round picks as well. So I've pre-scouted. I know who I want to try and go after. Let's hop into this draft. Also, one other comment coming in while I was in the middle of editing. Louis Malal says, make Cal Peterson your backup. He won 2 Calder Cups in a row. Very fair point. Try and bargain Verana or Murray with Grubauer, maybe to a team who doesn't have a starting goalie. They might be more inclined to take his contract, Grubauer, for a solid top 4 defenseman. So although I already did this video, this comment is very pertinent to the things that I did end up doing. So thank you, Louis, and we will see how this all transpires throughout the episode. Oh boy, do the first overall? No, Buffalo does not want to trade that first pick, which is going to be a franchise defenseman. So no chance I'm going to be able to trade for him, nor do I really want to. I would have to overpay by a mile to get someone who I don't really need, even though he would be a monster. So let's just see his overall from the, is he from the SHL? I forget, but he's Scandinavian, I believe. First overall pick, Markku Kerman. He is Finnish, I think. Medium franchise, 79 overall at 18 years old, offensive defenseman. This guy's going to tear up the NHL. Buffalo very lucky to have him. Great pick for them. Pittsburgh gets Brad Lambert, who's 80 overall medium elite. Shane Wright, 81 overall medium elite, goes to Philadelphia. He's going to be a playmaker for Johnny Beats. The Blues get Hutchins, a defensive defenseman, 77 overall medium elite. The Stars get Gaucher, top 6, 75 overall. There's still some good players available here, eh? Who have dropped? Yeah, Savoie dropped. He's ranked number 4, and now he's going to go number 6. So Savoie is 79 overall medium elite, going 6th overall. That's a steal. So no one wants to trade even before pick number 9. Who would be even available here? A couple more defensemen go. At pick number 9, which is the first pick that's on the block of anybody, it wouldn't be worth it. This guy, Connor Dubinsky, I'm okay. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate to my pick, which is pick number 23. And let's see who has gone since then. Medium top 4D, medium top 6 forward. Hecht was 76 overall, medium top 6. Corso, high top 60, yikes. Medium elite defenseman here. 72 overall, 74 overall, some high overall players here, 70, 72, yeah, high top 9, geez, that's disgusting. So here at pick number 23, I think we have some good options here, yeah, it's between Genze, Reed, and Blomqvist, who I always thought it was going to be. Reed may be the better pick at high elite with like, well, 2 bars high elite versus 2 bars medium elite, and he's ranked 22 by our scouts. But I don't need another defensive defenseman. Plus, I think Genze's the move here. A nice big 6'3", 17 years old, two-way forward. Sorry, goal scoring is a strength of his. He's maybe he's not even a two-way forward, but similar to Theo Fleury. And I'm ready to go for him, boys. So from the Grizzlies Wolfsburg in Germany, the Honolulu Huskies are proud to select Sebastian Genze. Welcome to the team. He is 66 overall, a sniper, medium top 6. Nice. At 6'3" as a sniper, that is nice. Those are good stats. 3-star shooting right out of the gate with 80 acceleration, 80 speed. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. I will take him for sure. The other guys were, let's see, Reed was only a high top 6. Ooh, boy, dodged a bullet there. And Bohnquist was medium top 6 as well. He was 2 overalls less also as a sniper. 1 year older though as well, so I will take Genze for sure. Next pick is at pick number 37, but I think I might want to trade up a little bit. No, actually, I think I'm okay going to 37. Zykov and Danielson are the 2 guys that I'm looking at, and they'll both, either one or the other will definitely be there. So we'll go ahead and sim to pick number 37 here. Let's see who else went in the first round. Also, you can notice at the bottom of the message center, there haven't been any names of any created RFAs, so that's why I haven't made any trades. Renberg was medium top 6, medium top 6, medium top 4, yeah, pretty decent niche, medium top 60, medium top 9 forwards, yikes. Low elite was Robbins here, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my pick here now, 37th overall. It's between Sergei Zykov, a 6'4" center, and Yohan Danielson, a 6'4" center as well. 2 6'4" centermen, they're both two-way forwards. One shoots right, one shoots left. This guy is similar to no one, 4-year ETA. Quickness, stride, acceleration are his weaknesses. D skating. This guy has C- skating, no weaknesses. 3 years away, I think I'm going to go for Yohan Danielson. Our scouts have him at 35 and Zykov at 42. So from the Djurgården hockey in the SHL, the Honolulu Huskies are proud to select Yohan Danielson. He is 62 overall, low elite, two-way forward. I will take that. Looks like he's definitely a project. It's hard to base right off the right away when he's drafted. Khalil goes next, who is a defenseman that I was looking at, but I didn't need him. Zykov was 61 overall, 1 overall less. So my next pick is at pick number 46, just 6 picks away, but I want to make sure I don't miss anyone who I'm looking at. No, I definitely won't. I might not even want to make a pick over there. Let's sim to the user pick. Medium top 9, yeah, I'll medium top 9s. Yeah, no one really interesting here. No one I'm really looking at 46th overall, I don't think. Medium top 9, 2 bars low elite for Carl Byrne. Not really tempted by that. There might be some gems in here, but it'll really be a shot in the dark, to be honest. Maybe I want to trade around here. Calvin Anthony is a low top 4 offensive defenseman. Per Nyquist is a gem, they say. Maybe I want to trade around 68. Jamal Byers from France. Calvin Anthony had 59 points in 65 games. He says he's injury prone, which is a bit of a buzz. Nyquist, they don't tell me much about Nyquist. 1 goal in 21 games in an A+ league. But you know, I'm down to go for Anthony. So maybe I'll trade for the 65th or 66th overall pick. Because I could make a package if I go to find trade here. And I'm like, okay, I'm down to trade this 2nd round pick. Even I have the 54th overall pick. I'm down to trade the 2nd round pick. I'm down to trade Grubauer. What could I get for this, like right away? Tyler Johnson, Savard. No, I wouldn't want to do that. So I take off Grubauer. Let's say I went for Ryan Murray here. I'm down to trade Ryan Murray in the 2nd round pick. What would people be offering me? I could get 2 seconds and a prospect, 2 seconds and a prospect, a second, a third and a prospect, Jason Zucker. You know, it's like there's definitely some interest. Charlie Coyle in a 3rd, Max Pacioretty in a 3rd. That's interesting. But I'm trying to figure out what to trade. So I think I'm just going to trade for like 60 whatever overall. So let me see what I can figure out. See if I can get the 63rd overall pick and a 3rd and a 4th next season. No chance, just a 3rd next season. Trade accepted. All right, so I get a 3rd now and a 3rd next season from Montreal. Thank you very much. they go ahead and select a medium top 9 power forward. So that is okay with me. Byrne was low top 6, wouldn't have been a bad choice, but all of these guys would have been shots in the dark. All these guys low top 6. So I'm going to go ahead and sim to pick number 54. I don't even know if I want to pick anybody here as well. I can go for this guy, Garrett Carson. Where are the goalies slated to go? First goalie is not until like the 7. Yeah, not even. These guys aren't even of interest to me. Who's the first goalie of interest? 2 bars, medium elite. Yikes! My goodness, there really no goalie. Where have the goalies been these last few drafts? May as well take a shot, I guess, at Garrett Carson, power forward. Similar to Owen Nolan. They have him ranked at 56. They're telling me that Darcy Nightingale is the guy to go for, but low top 6D, I'm not really down for that. So let's go for Garrett Carson. Is he Austrian, I think? Let's go for him from Erk Ingolstadt in the Dell. Welcome, Garrett. He is medium top 9. Pits. Nightingale is low top 4D. Probably should have taken him. Okay. That's the way the news goes, I guess. Sim to pick number 63. Hopefully the guy that I want is there, and he is, yes. So I could go for the medium top 6D, but I'm just going to go ahead and take Calvin Anthony. He is a low top 4 offensive defenseman. I just missed out on one, so 65 overall, low top 4D. I am happy with that. Next pick is pick number 85. And between now and then, I don't think there's anybody that I have noted down. No, I don't believe so. So we'll go ahead and simulate to pick 85, which is pick number 23 of the 3rd round. Medium top 9 guaranteed. Yeah, no one. Once again, it's tough. I hate that I have guys like this, like 3 bars uncovered, AHL top 6. Meanwhile, I can't get, these guys beyond, some of these guys beyond 1 bar. So Clifford Leach, medium top 9. I think I'm just going to trade this pick. Not interested in it. So I'm just going to see what the trade offers are for it. Get a pick next season. I think the Panthers have the best offer here, giving me a 3rd next season and a low top 9 prospect. Probably Pitts, but he could be trade bait. Toivonen, Petri Toivonen, 63 overall, 19 years old, sniper. And this last season in the AHL, 11 points. Yeah, he's garbage, but he is trade value. And I think I might as well just go for it, since most offers are offering me 3rd round picks or whatever, or 4th round picks this season. So thank you, Florida. I'll go ahead and dump that pick right there. And they end up drafting medium top 9. There it was, Leach. So sim to pick 94 in the beginning of round number 4. Now still no one really to draft, but gotta replenish the prospect system. This guy's 2 bar medium elite. 2 bars medium top 6 from Vaxio Lakers in the SHL. Let's go for him. Kim Ackerland played 10 games. Let's do it. Kim, you are low bottom 6 grinder. Good job, Bellettes. You are a waste. Pick number 113, guaranteed low top 6 forward, Matt Cunningham. Welcome to the team. That is what you love to see. He has that potential at 56 overall. Round number 5, pick number 1, 125th overall. Man, it is scarce out here. Charlie Luongo from Croatia. Could go for him. Yeah, why not? Let's get a goalie in the system. Charlie Luongo, Roberto Luongo's son, born in Croatia, medium backup. Pick number 147, 2 bars, medium top 4D. Let's go for it. Gail Russell, he is medium 7th D. Great. Pick 175. Now let's start sorting by potential. But this guy's guaranteed. Ezra Subban, low top 6 forward. Awesome. Welcome, Ezra. Dry bones in the desert. 59 overall. Round 7, pick number 209. Sort by potential. Anyone 2 bars low elite? No, 2 bars medium elite even. Let's go for him. Jackson Willis, 17 years old, offensive defenseman. What do you guys say for me, Jackson? 49 overall, medium 7th D. Nice job, Bello. Thanks for wasting my time. So that's the end of the draft. We had some good picks. I like Genze. I like Danielson. We're looking all right. The draft was pretty good. Now we have to move into, some trades there. Now I have to move into figuring out this re-sign phase. It's going to be a bit of an issue because I am tight on the cap as of now, because come July 1st, I'm going to be trying to make trades for RFAs, but right now it's a bit tight, so I'm probably going to have to lets him go to free agency like John Klingberg, and then try to sign him later. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to deal with the coaches and scouts and be back in a second. So with $12.650 million in the cap, we got to look at all expiring players. The only guy who wants to extend is Leschyshyn. So right away, Jeff Carter, Yoel Armina, no room for them. Got to release them. Sorry, boys. Fun. We've had fun in Honolulu, but time to go. John Klingberg is going to cost a lot of money. He's going to want something like $11 million, 10.775 for 5 years. So right away, let me just deal with everyone else. So Leschyshyn does want the extension. He's going to be my fourth line center moving forward. So if I give him 3 years at $1 million on a two-way deal, sorry, what's the max here? What's the max? 9.25. So let me get him, I'm not sure if he's going to want that, but let's try 3 years at 0.925. Michael Dalcolt does not want it, qualify. Boone Jenner doesn't want a contract, so I guess I'm going to have to just let him go because I'm not going to pay him 1.75 or something. Scandella does want the extension, but I think I have enough good defense in the system to let him go. I acquired him initially in year number 1, but sorry, Bello, thank you for your time here. This guy's good for the minors, so sign him back up. Fitzgerald doesn't want it, see you later. Goldolbin does not want it, probably not going to get him back. Yeah, goodbye. Rocco Grimaldi, $2 million off the books, release him. Hunt, get him out as well, 33 years old. This guy Prisky, qualify. Jella Rose doesn't want, goodbye. Noah Bergman doesn't want, goodbye. Hunt doesn't want, goodbye. Kaliev does want, perfect. He could be a big piece in this team moving forward. I like to give him the 3-year deal, perfect. This guy doesn't want, goodbye. Sorella does want, he's 25 years old, not much potential anymore, but get him signed up. Barkland, I will sign him. I drafted him. When did I draft Barkland? Alfred Barkland, 5th round in 2020. Yeah, he turned out okay, 70 overall here. This guy has medium top 6 potential, so definitely going to go ahead and sign him. Low top 4D potential, Tutin, yeah, I'll sign him as well. Good for the trade value. Then we go to the goalies. Peterson does want the extension. Good. I would like to keep him in San Diego for another year at least. And Blomqvist, he is a medium fringe starter. When did I draft him? 7th round in 2020, huh? Why not? Always good for the trade value, like we said, and we're looking to make big deals this offseason. Unsigned players. Probably not going to sign any of these guys. Their overalls aren't quite high enough just yet. So let me see what everybody says first before I offer John Klingberg a contract. I don't think I really offered that many contracts at all. My head coach, okay, that's my head coach. He resigned. AHL head coach resigned, and yeah, okay, all these guys. Then the scouts. So my NHL head coach, when I first got him 3 years ago, was like C-. He is now B-, so that's nice. Kaliev, Sorella, Alvines all say yes. Leschyshyn doesn't want a two-way offer. Peterson says yes. Barkland, Blomqvist, Nichols, Tutin all say yes. So Leschyshyn doesn't want the 3-year deal at that contract, so I'll try 2 years at 0.8 instead. That leaves me with a lot of money for John Klingberg, so if I can get him, yeah, that's going to be a bit too much. Let's get 5 years. Yeah, the 5-year deal seems best at $11 million. We'll see what he says. 5 years, $55 million. So Klingberg wants to test the free agent market, doesn't tell me why, and Leschyshyn says yes, so that's good. He's my 4th line center moving forward, and he's going to be cheap for another couple of years. John Klingberg wants more money than Duke Silver, this guy. I'm not going to kill myself to re-sign him. 11.250 is pretty fair. If he doesn't want that, I think I'm going to let him walk, because I'm not going to kill myself. Now, see you later, John Klingberg. I will sign you in free agency for that same amount. You know what, I'll offer him one last deal, but like just a little bit more, because if I offer him last ditch effort of 11.325, because then if he doesn't sign that, I know that I could probably get him for it in free agency. So okay, we are headed to July 1st now. I need to go look at the scouts first to hire all the best ones, and then we're going to look at our team, evaluate, and then we're going to start making some trades and seeing who is a free agent. So I sent out 6 contracts to all the best scouts to try and get some better scouting for the future drafts. Of course, it is a process. And now we have to look at what we want to get on this team. So forwards, sorting by overall, and excluding who we're trading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. So we could use a couple forwards. Now, the first line next season, Silver, in theory, let's say it's Silver, Rantanen, and Gensel. Second line is Drouin, Yamamoto, and second line center. Third line is Kubalik, Danault, and Blais. Fourth line is Leschyshyn, I don't know. Something like that. Now, we could definitely use a second line center as well as a third line right winger and fourth line depth. On defense, if John Klingberg comes back, that's 1-2 with Dougie Hamilton. Murray's gone, so 3, 4, 5. Lindback could probably fill that spot at 6, so I don't think defense is necessary aside from John Klingberg. And we could also use a backup goalie if when Philip Grubauer gets traded. So a lot of this is all hypothetical. It'll depend on what we are seeing in free agency. So let's take a look. Let's sort only by RFAs. Are there any created players here? Fingers crossed. Oh no, there are not. There are not. So that's a bit sad. That was a risk that we took, but there are none. All right, so looking just at UFAs now. John Klingberg, of course. Alex Ovechkin is here, a simulating monster. Okay, so there are a lot of ideas. So with all those, with no RFAs being available, I want to quickly go and look what kind of contracts did they get signed to. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see these contracts. Okay, Duke Silver is 8 years at 11 million. Jinkyo Chong 5 years at 10.1. Rory Cherry 5 years at 9. 8 at 9. Whoa, that's a great contract. 8 years at 9.8 for Massimiliano Beal. That's wild. 7 years at these are really good contracts. 7 years at 9.5. Who's this? Oh, that's the guy who just got drafted first overall. 7 years at 8.7, 5 years at 8.8. These are pretty great contracts. Eesh, Duke Silver definitely costing the most, but he is on the longest one, except for Bio, Klingenberg, Bruno. Oh man, crazy. And the goalies here, what kind of contracts did they get signed to? 5 years at 7.2 for Sandro Tommy. That's not bad at all. For a Vezina Trophy caliber goaltender, the Italian Sandro Tommy. Sheesh. So now it's time to make some trades happen, boys. With all the pieces that we want to move off this team, it is time to make some big deals. So let me quickly go through the trade blocks and see who's available. So there aren't many super interesting options. The one person that did pique my interest was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins here on the Flyers. He's making $6.19 million for the next 3 years. He's a good second line center. He's a two-way forward. Last season scored 13 goals, 58 assists. I think he's pretty solid. He only has 75 face-offs, not the best centerman, but I like him. It says he fits the bottom 6 forward lines. I'm not sure. But let me see if the Flyers would be interested in me offering them something. Like Murray, Vrana, and Grubauer here. How close does that get me? It looks pretty close, actually. What'd you say here, boys? You're a bit off in value. Ryan Murray, Jakub Vrana, and Philip Grubauer. He'd trade all 3 of them right off the bat to Philadelphia with like a pick for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. But let me see if I go to the fine trade, what would I be offered if I put those guys in a package? Now that it's the beginning of the offseason, maybe there are teams that with enough salary cap space and contract spot space to be able to take all 3. No trades found. Take off Grubauer, just put Murray and Vrana. I could get Wild and a first, or 2 seconds and Connor Garland. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Ah, boy, this is quite the pickle here, because I could make trades for players, or I could just go after all of them in free agency. Because if I just look at centers in free agency, I could go ahead and sign maybe Ivan Barbashev or Vincent Trocheck to be my second line center. Barbashev is a playmaker. Not much of a playmaker, more of a goal scorer, kind of like a Duke Silver. That's just last season, maybe. Not a big points guy. Trocheck was the bane of my existence when he was on Vancouver in the Anaheim franchise mode. Shesterkin's a free agent. He wants $6 million for 5 years. That wouldn't be a bad deal. So I just passed over a lot of stuff that didn't work out. I cut it all out of the video. I tried to make a trade for Noah Hanifin. I tried to make a trade for Jacob Chikrin, and it didn't work out. So we're going the free agency route to sign defensemen. and forwards, whatever, because people don't want to make these trades. I could probably get the Nugent Hopkins deal to go through. The more I think about it, with Perfetti and Wong as my future centerman, maybe I go with Phil Danault as my second line center this year. No, but that doesn't make sense. I can't sacrifice this season. I want to be a contender this season, right? Yeah, I'll try one last time on the Nugent Hopkins deal. They do want to trade him, which makes the value less. It's only a 3-year deal. That's movable when the time comes. Ryan Murray, Jakub Vrana, and Philip Grubauer. And let's say I throw in a 3rd-round pick or something. How close do we get with a Honolulu 3rd? What do you say, Philadelphia? Trade accepted. All right, it worked out. Didn't have to kill myself. It worked out. Thank you very much, Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Welcome to the Honolulu Huskies. We have a lot of salary cap open now. Still looking to probably trade Jeremy Bracco or whoever else. So let me update the trade block quickly. Okay, that's done. Now we can finally make some free agent signings. I know it hasn't been long for you, but it's been long for me looking at all these different trade possibilities. We have $19.435 million of cap space. Obviously, number one, we got to go for our captain, John Klingberg. The Calgary Flames are interested in him. I could give him 7, 6, 6, 5. No, so 6 years is the way to go. I'm going to offer him what I was giving him in the re-sign phase. That's still only 0.4 more than he was going for. It's tough. Calgary could get him. I'm going to have to go for it here. Let's try 6 years, 11.350. That leaves me with about $8 million after the fact. So once again, sorting by UFAs, defensemen. If I go affordable, will it make it under? No, it won't. So, boy, I could get Chris Letang, which would be nice. He doesn't want much. He's 35 years old. Giordano's here. PK Subban is here, down to an 84 overall. Eesh, how the mighty have fallen. PK Subban, 33 years old, 84 overall. Hasn't done much in the years of simulation, so I'm not going to bother going for him. If I were to sign another defenseman, which I would like to, it's probably between Letang and maybe like Ekholm, Julius Honka even, who I was looking at getting at the beginning of this franchise mode, who I could never secure. Hasn't done much though. Look at these stats: 16 points in 82 games. Maybe this isn't. Maybe this different alternate reality is not one wherein he is a big boy. Let's try Chris Letang. I know he'll drop from 89 probably by the time the season begins. He wants 2 years. I have about $8 million. If I could offer him 2 years at 7.325, not even 1 year at 7.325. Let's see what Chris Letang says to that. Couple of big offers to a couple of big defensemen. I think the forwards are set. I would like to get Ovechkin, but I think the defense has to be set. All the scouts are signing on. Beautiful. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait another few years for any of those franchise-created players to become available. This should be the moment of truth on the 6th right here. What do you say? John Klingberg, welcome, and Chris Letang, bang. Okay. Chris Letang and John Klingberg are tandem on the top pair. They are on board. Beautiful. Ovechkin's still available. Giordano, Johnny Gaudreau, Victor Olofsson is still here as well. He doesn't want a big contract, but I have $2.435 million of cap space. I don't think they're really going to fit. Maybe I use that money for a backup goalie, because I don't know if Cal Peterson can really be my backup. Are there any good backup goalies here? Peter Mrazek, nah, these guys are starters. Michael DiPietro, RFA, Dubnik, Francouz. Let me try DiPietro. He simulates like a god with Vancouver, but I'm not sure if he's going to want to sign on. Let me try 3 years, one way, $1 million. No picks are required, so I'll offer him that. That would be cool if he signed on, but I'm sure that Vancouver will match it. Continue on simulating here down the road. Keith Yandel on a 3rd for a 1st, no way. Christian blah 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 blah. Okay, DiPietro says that he'll sign, but Vancouver is likely to match, and they did. Okay. I think I'm doing something a little bit crazy here. If I could trade Kubalik, Blais, and Bracco, or even just Kubalik and Blais, I think that would give me 3, 4. That would be tight. If I could trade all 3 of those pieces, I can go after Alex Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin is a monster no matter where he plays. I think he would be huge for this franchise if I can get him signed. Let me see if there's anything that comes up when I go to find trade. I'm tight on the salary cap for this season. There's a couple of one-year deals like Chris LETANG that are costing a lot. If I go Kubalik and Blais, Blais hasn't really been able to become much in this franchise mode, nobody. If I just say Dominic Kubalik, I could get a prospect, a first and a third from Carolina, first and a third from Florida, 2 seconds, a first from Vancouver, McIsaac and a third. There's some decent prospects here, but I wouldn't mind taking a first and a third from somebody. Either Florida or Carolina. Florida finished higher than Carolina last year, so I think Carolina is the way to go. I could get this guy Malta. He never turned out last one. Let's just go straight up bank. First and a third, maybe even I squeeze out a seventh. Dominic Kubalik, he's a good goal scorer, but I don't think there's room on this team for him that much. If he has that medium top 6 potential, he's a good player. There's nothing wrong with him, but I think that if I could trade him for some picks and go and sign Alex Ovechkin, that's huge. So it's a first round pick next year. It's a first and a third next year. Can you throw in a 6th this year? What do you say, Carolina? Trade rejected, bit low for us. Just a 7th then. And trade accepted. So Dominic Kubalik, thank you for your service in Honolulu. He is off to the Carolina Hurricanes. Now I just got to move Sammy Blais as well, who never really turned out. But to be honest, I didn't really give him the opportunity to. Just that it didn't really work no matter what, because there was no spots for him. Not going to bother searching through 100 prospects to see who's best. Oh, here's the prospect I was looking at last episode, last season, Kachkovich. He's a low top 6, 1 year left on his deal. Didn't do much in Utica last year. No, I'll go ahead and pass on that. Could I put Blais and Bracco together? What would I get if I put these guys together? Bracco, who became an 86 overall, leading the NHL in points in the Anaheim franchise mode, but here is terrible. I get a first and a third from the Islanders. That's not bad. First and a fourth from them. I might just go first and a third from the Islanders straight up. Tomasino is not a bad prospect either. Philip Tomasino, medium top 6. He's 20 years old, a right-wing playmaker. Good stats in the OHL. Philip Tomasino, no, wouldn't be a bad prospect to get. He's a first-round pick in 2019. You know what? Why not? He's a good prospect. Tomasino on a third. Welcome to Honolulu, Sammy Blais and Dominic Kubalik. Thank you for your time here, boys. But I'm going to go ahead and try to sign Alex Ovechkin with the money that I have left here. Oh man, I'm still a bit short on the money here, which is a big buzz. I might have to do with the RFAs. Who do I still have as RFAs here? What I'm going to have to do is try and trade one of my players making like $3 million to another team and then trade back and give them prospects to retain salary. So let me figure that out. Man, I just put Edmondson and Olofsson here and I'm getting all kinds of offers. Jakob Larsson, a 2nd and a 5th. Jakob Silverberg, McIsaac, a first-round pick from Calgary. Those are some crazy offers. Or I could just go straight to Calgary, who they are champion status, but still a first-round pick for those two guys. And then, so let's say I take a first. Was it a first and a 4th there, or a first and a 5th? Let's say I take a first, a 5th, and a 6th. Yeah, first, a 5th, and a 6th from Calgary. And then now I say I want Joel Edmondson back. You just gotta keep swindling the system, boys. I want Joel Edmondson back now, but I want you to retain salary on him. So you retain 50% of his salary, and then I'll give you. So a 2nd, 2/3, and 2/5 would go through if it wasn't for the salary. So take out one of the 5ths and make it a 4th. I don't know, man. It's how much of a buzz does it have to be to just get him to retain $1 million? I'm giving you all kinds of picks. You give me a first. You give me a first. And then I give you a 2nd, 3/3, and a 4th just to keep some money. There you go. Oh my goodness. So now in the draft I have 2 firsts, 1 third, 2 fifths, 2 6ths, 2 7ths. And next year I have 2 firsts, 1 2nd, 1 3rd, 1 4th. Okay, so that's done. Oh, so now I have $5, $6, $7, $8 million to spend, which is still not enough, I don't even think, to get Alex Ovechkin. He wants 8.7, and there's a team interested. So I have 7.92, it says. Still not enough, unless I have to do more deals. There's no teams in the NHL that want LETANG and have the salary cap to keep money, which is a big problem, because that's the whole thing. So I need to find a team that just has money. Let's say Pittsburgh. They have a lot of money. Pittsburgh, what can you give me for Chris Letang? How about 2 seconds, 3rd, 4th, 5th? Great. Okay, 2 seconds, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And now I will take back Chris Letang. You want to trade him even? Great. He's on your block, even better. Then I'll make you retain salary. I hate playing like this, but this is the way that it has to go sometimes when the game is broken. That's what you have to do sometimes. So you can retain 3.250. I'll have 10.2 something million dollars. I throw in Cunningham. What do they say? Trade accepted. Beautiful. Thank you, EA gods. So now with all this money that I just spent like a half hour getting, so many things that I cut out because things didn't work, that you're just seeing the final cut, so lucky you. Let's just get him 1-year deal for $9.25 million. Alex Ovechkin, please, please come to Honolulu. I need you, my good friend Alexander. You will be a key piece in attaining a Stanley Cup here. Whatever. I wouldn't trade away players if you just released him at it so quickly. Well, I just got him back, and other AI teams do it literally all the time. So go to bed. Come on, Ovi. Come on, Ovi. Please, Ovi. Please, Ovi. Come on, Bello. Yes, Alexander Ovechkin. Welcome to Honolulu. End off your career with a cup, Bello. I gave him the cash. He thinks it's generous. He's already a Stanley Cup champion, winning it with Washington in the real world and then Columbus in this other world. He has 2 cups to his name. Let's go ahead and get to next season and see what we are looking like. All right, so we got good news and bad news, boys. Good news is this team looks mental. Silver, Gensel, Yamamoto on the top line, +5 makes them 90, 99, and 94. Second line, Ovechkin, Danault, Rantanen makes them 94, 86, and 92. Third line, Dal Cole breaks out into the lineup. Cole Perfetti makes the lineup, and Jonathan Drouin, he's relegated to the third line, which I'm not really too impressed with, but I'm kind of forced. Unless I put Drouin at center with his 71 face-offs, he has 65 face-offs. Maybe I go like this? Drouin at center? Maybe. That could be it. Third line, whatever. Fourth line, Peyton Krebs, Jake Leschyshyn. So here's the issue. Here's the bad news. I'm a degenerate. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, there's no room for this guy. He was supposed to be second line center, but Leschyshyn and Perfetti both grew to 82 overalls. I have no room for Nugent-Hopkins. And then on defense, I'm even more of a degenerate because Lindback and Kovalev have both grown to 80 and 81 overall respectively. So look who's scratched. Not only Chris Letang, but also Joel Edmondson, the guy that I killed myself to get the $1 million retained on his cap, on his salary. So I'm a degenerate. What I have to do now, I need to go trade for a fourth line winger, a depth defenseman. Maybe I keep Edmondson as a depth defenseman actually, but I need to trade Nugent-Hopkins and Letang for for a fourth liner, a depth forward maybe as well, and a backup goalie. I can't believe that this has happened. People grew. So I'm going to try and go make a trade for some prospects. I don't want to just take a whole boatload of first round picks because that's not fun to just have 100 picks in the first round and then you just make a dynasty team. I'd like to try and trade for players who I think are going to be good. So I'm going to go do that, and when I figure something out, I'll show you. If I can do this deal with the Blackhawks, I offload Nugent-Hopkins and Letang. Georgiev can be my new backup for maybe just 1 year. He's 82 overall. He was a starter last season, had good stats. Cole Lynn can be my fourth line right winger. And then I get Williams, who's a prospect for the minors, Grew, who's a prospect for the minors, and Justin Barron, who can all play in San Diego. I could use some good young players down there. What do you say, Chicago? Trade accepted. I think that's a pretty fair deal. I get those guys off my team. I give good players to the Hawks. I don't take back any crazy medium elite, tons of trade value players or picks. So I think that's the best thing that I could have done. Let me now fix up these lines and see what we're going to look like. So I'm just advancing a few days to make sure all these free agents that I've just gotten for AHL and then for as well Logan O'Connor's for NHL depth, make sure they all sign on, and then we'll get a final look at the lines heading into this season. So here's what we're looking like to begin year number 4. First line, Gensel, Silver, and Yamamoto giving it the +5. I could switch Yamamoto and Drouin though, so please give me your thoughts on that. Second line, Ovechkin, Danault, and Rantanen. Danault is not the ideal second line center, but playing with Ovechkin and Rantanen should be monstrous for him, making him an 86 overall. So I know it's not really his role, but I think we're going to have to roll with it for this year, just for this year, because Cole Perfetti will move into that role next season. Third line, Drouin, Perfetti, and Dal Cole. Like I said, I could put Drouin on the second line instead of Danault, but it makes it only a +1. I would have to make Drouin into a playmaker, and he would be 71 faceoffs. It wouldn't be the worst idea, making him a playmaker. So please let me know your thoughts on where Drouin should play. Third line wing, second line center, or first line wing. Fourth line, Cole Lind with Leschyshyn and Peyton Krebs. Defense, Mats Lindback in his rookie season here. He's listed as a top 6D. I don't want to stunt his growth, but pairing the defensive defenseman with the offensive defenseman, John Klingberg, gives the pairing a +5. So 85 and 95 here. I don't want to stunt his growth though, so I'm going to have to keep a careful eye on that. Second pair, Ulevy and Hamilton. Third pair, Seider and Kovalev, also making his rookie debut here. So please let me know your thoughts on the defensive pairings as well. Maybe I change Ulevy into a defensive defenseman, or even Moritz Seider into a defensive defenseman, and they can play top pair with Klingberg. In nets, Jordan Binnington, 88 overall, is our starter, making 5.575 for the next 5 years. Alexander Georgiev is our backup, and scratch we have Edmondson for defense and Logan O'Connor, an undrafted fourth line forward who is a two-way forward, as our depth for forwards. In the AHL, our lines look like this, with Suzuki and Kaliev, our big prospects. Williams, Tomasino, also prospects, getting some time. On defense, Broberg is a big prospect, as well as now Justin Barron, who we picked up, who was a first-round pick in 2020. All these guys, and then goalies, it is Peterson, backed up by Hunter Jones. So any of your thoughts are always welcome. I will incorporate them as well as I can. I'm going to fix up the power play as well for the AHL, try to give it as much of a plus as possible. Our captain is still John Klingberg, with the assistants going, or the alternates, going to Phil Danault and Mikko Rantanen. Alex Ovechkin could be an integral piece to this team moving forward. I'm very glad I got him. I'm sad that it was such a mess with LETANG and Nugent Hopkins and the salary cap and the picks and the trades, but we got it done. We have a little bit of money in our pockets. We have $9.95 million, but that's going to just go into our contract extensions for next year, because Jonathan Drouin is going to want 5.6. Actually, it's not that much, not too crazy for next season. Alex Ovechkin, we could probably get renewed if that's something, but our prospects are going to grow. So it was a big buzz to trade for the retained salary, but luckily we got it done. Not really worse for wear either, as we still have a good number of draft picks moving into the next draft. We have 2 firsts, a second, a third, a fourth, 2 fifths, and then next season we have 2 firsts, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth. So we're looking good. I'm happy with where we have gotten ourselves. Moving into the next episode, like I said, let me know your thoughts about the lines, but if you have no more thoughts, then we are going to roll into year number 4, just as I have shown you. A small little sample of our line combos will be seen right now through the preseason. If you want to get a little bit of a better idea, we go 5-2-0 in the preseason. Alex Ovechkin gets 10 points in 7 games. Rantanen gets 8, Silver, Klingberg gets 7 each, Danault gets 6, Cole Perfetti, Drouin, Yamamoto all get 5. And Binnington goes 5-2-0 with a .925 save percentage, 2.44 goals against. So boys, thank you for watching. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, as I'm putting out about 4 or 5 NHL uploads per week, along with 1 FIFA upload, for a total of about 6 uploads per week here, especially needed in quarantine. So if you are enjoying the content, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and there is more where that came from. Comment your thoughts as I incorporate them into the next episode, and I will send out the scouts, get everything ready for next season. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.